Hi, I'm Pat Luke with Luke Photography. I've had a lot of people ask me about how I've been shooting these wine and liquor bottles the last couple posts I've been putting up. So I want to show you a little behind the scenes on how I come up with a concept, and then also how I light that. So we're gonna take a walk through here. So this is a bottle that I just shot, and it's 7 Deadly Zins, a red Zinfandel from Lodi, California. And when I look at a bottle I want to photograph, I take it just to get inspired by how I'm going to do it. I usually take a look at the label, and if you can see here in the label, it's got a halo here. It's got the 7. The 7 is in a Z for Zinfandel. The label is like a parchment with burned on the bottom there, and actually has the 7 deadly sins written around the number 7 here. So it's a darker burgundy cap. So I try to keep this is my idea. So as I looked at this, I'm thinking it's parchment, it's burn, it's 7 deadly sins. I'm thinking fire, brimstone, devil, that kind of stuff. So I'm looking at, we're looking at this warmer colors and fire and that kind of stuff. Maybe some fog, like hell, that kind of stuff. So that's what I start thinking about when I'm kind of come up with the concept of how to do this. And there's a halo on the over the 7 here, so I want to try and incorporate some kind of a halo into the idea too. So that's my first concept, and I just have one for this one. But I shot a Smirnoff citrus vodka last week, 2 weeks ago, and I came up with 3 different concepts just over the course of a couple days. But this one right now is just simple shot with the bottle, glass of wine, and a halo. Is how I'm going to incorporate that in there. So here's the set. Here's my lighting setup and my gear. So I shoot with a Nikon D810. I've got a 135 f2 lens on there, which I'm borrowing from a friend, and I need to buy that and pay him for that. But that's what I shoot with. But to me, the camera is irrelevant. It's about the lighting and what you do with the light. So whenever you photograph glassware, so glass, it's a very highly reflective surface that kind of shows everything around there. You have to think about what it's going to reflect. You typically need large light sources. So what I do is the main lighting, I'm going to back up here. The main lighting overhead is a 7-foot umbrella. There's an Alien B light and a 7-foot Westcott umbrella, and that's further being diffused by a piece of 4x8 piece of diffusion material, which is hung over the top of the set here. So that allows for a big reflection. And as we move in on the bottle here, you can see at the top of the neck of the bottle where it starts to curve, you can see the reflection of this big screen over the top of that. So that's my lighting from overhead, and that's going to provide the main source of light. They're sitting just on a table, and I have a rusty brown colored background that's just kind of put over the table. So then you've got obviously the bottle there, the glass of wine. The key to photographing red wine is not to completely fill the glass with the wine, because red wine will photograph black. It just doesn't let a lot of light through it. So I only filled about a quarter or even less of the glass filled with red wine, and I used another red wine, not the one, because this bottle's still uncapped. So about a quarter full, and then fill the rest with water. So at least you can see through a little bit. And that's basically where I'm going. That's my main set. As I back up, you can see I've got 2 reflectors, left and right, and they're just pieces of cardboard with aluminum foil taped to the front of them. And what they're doing is they're going to bounce light into the left and right side of the label from our backlights. And we've got big backlights in the back. I've got these 2 softboxes. I'm going to move around from the back of the set so you can see everything from the back here. So here is one of our backlights, the big softbox that's 12 by 55 inches. And I've got one on the left side, one on the right side. And these are going to be firing in and lighting up the edges of the bottle here and the edges of the glasses, and providing a lot of light on the cap and everywhere here too. So those are providing a lot of light to define the back of it. I have a background light, which is right here. This is an Alien B light with a 20-degree grid on it and an orange gel over the front of it. So that's going to fire back into my background, which is just gray seamless paper, and make it an orangey colored background. Now this gel happens to photograph a little on the yellow side, so I'm going to have to change the color of that in post-processing. You can see that's the color there, and it largely photographs yellowish. So I need to go in and actually change that back to an orangey, warm orangey, almost fiery kind of look. So that's the majority of our lighting, and now you can see the two reflectors in front of the glass. You can see the camera in the background. So these reflectors left and right are bouncing light from these backgrounds, or these lights in the back onto the front, and you're going to be able to see some nice definitions on the side of the bottle and the glass. So that's our setup. I'll show you again from the front. So main light overhead, diffuse even further with a 4x8 diffusion screen, two large strip boxes in the back, background light there, and you can see I've got gray seamless paper in the very, very back. So that's our lighting setup. I'm shooting at f11 on the camera at 1/20th of a second or so, underneath this flash sync, using Alien Beast triggers, and the camera's set at 100 ISO for the lowest and the highest possible quality and lowest amount of noise. So in order for me to get the atmosphere and the fire and brimstone kind of look, I want to add some fog in the background, and it just adds atmosphere because it's being lit up by the two big softboxes. They're going to be shining through the smoke, and that's how you light up smoke, is to light it from behind. If you light it from the front, you don't see it. So this has to be between the glass of wine and the two softboxes in the back. So I have this bottle. It's called Atmosphere. That's what it provides. It actually provides atmosphere. So I don't have a remote for the camera, so I'm just going to set the timer for 10 seconds. I'll be able to see the light flashing, and just before it fires, I'm actually going to start spraying this right behind the bottle. Okay, so here we go. All right, it's firing. 1, 2.